Hello, wrestling fans, and everybody else. I'm Yuki Ray. Let's get into what happened on Raw. Now, Raw was from London, England this week. Taped, obviously, but still, nonetheless, it was a very good show. It had its ups and downs, but what show doesn't? The first thing we see is The Miz and Miz TV. Miz's guest last night was Roman Reigns. It was a great segment between The Miz and Roman Reigns because not only did we get an interaction we really haven't seen too much of in the past, but Roman Reigns gave a very big endorsement to The Miz. One that I couldn't be happier about because it solidified Miz as that babyface that he's been building up to be. We've seen him be that heel, that really evil heel when he was with Alex Riley and he was WWE Champion. Then we saw him kind of take a step back, kind of into that gray area, that light pink area. And then we've seen him kind of dabble in the gray and light blue. But now, with Roman Reigns' endorsement, we see Miz as in that fully blue babyface category. Now that segment led to a very good tag team match. Miz and Reigns against Lashley and Elias. The Miz and Reigns, such a very odd pairing because we had never seen it before, but honestly, a very great match. It was just the best match. Some of the best people are saying it was the greatest match. Joking aside, it was still a very good match, and it was a shame to have Shane McMahon ruin that match. But heels have to heel, I know that, I get it. The one bone I did have to pick was with Roman and Miz getting laid out and then counterattacking. I would have really liked to seen them left laying in the ring, and Bobby Lashley and Elias and Shane, yeah, we did that to them. Suck it, people. Those are your baby faces, and we beat them to pulp and left them laying in the middle of the ring. I would have liked to have seen them left laying because it builds that emotional investment in the fans for Miz and Roman. Because, especially if you look at Roman's match at Money in the Bank, it's going to be him versus Elias. And on the surface, we all know Roman's going to win, of course. But how they've been building the story lately, the past couple weeks, it's never been Roman versus Elias one-on-one. It's always been Roman versus Elias and Shane. It's been Roman versus Elias and Bobby Lashley. It's been Roman versus Elias and the V-Team. We've seen Roman Reigns constantly at a numerical disadvantage, and it's been slowly building up that emotional investment in Roman. We want to see him make a comeback. We want to see him fight from below. We want to see him overcome everything that's been happening to him over the past couple weeks. Now, while it is going to be one-on-one at Money in the Bank, it's still that emotional investment of we want to see Roman kick Elias's ass. Elias has been nothing but a pain in the butt for Roman, whether it be sneak attack, double team, triple team, whatever. It gets you to cheer Roman and boo Elias. The same thing with The Miz. His story, it's more relatable. It's kind of more relatable because it revolves around Shane putting his hands on Miz's dad. Now, who can't relate to a story like that? If someone started pushing my dad around, of course I'd come and want to kick his ass. You mess with my dad, you mess with me. And I will not stop until I find you, hunt you down, even to my own detriment, inside a steel cage. Yes, you can use the steel cage against me, but the more important thing is I can use the steel cage against you, and I want to get my revenge for you putting your hands on my dad. It's a story that everyone can relate to in some form or another. It doesn't have to be your dad, it could be any family member. But the point is, we're going to go into Money in the Bank hoping that Miz beats Shane to a bloody pulp, and then either pins him or escapes the cage and says, there, Dad, I beat that guy up for you. Moving on, one of the things that I really did not understand about Monday Night Raw last night was having Apollo Crews fight Mojo Rawley. Of course I'm happy. We see Mojo Rawley come back to the ring after who knows how long, and we see him with the face paint on his face, all like the veins or whatever this is. And it's great to see him back. But at the same time, I don't think we needed him to beat Apollo Crews in a minute and a half, less than a minute and a half, for him to come back. We could have used an enhancement talent from England. The same thing would have been accomplished. We don't have to shoot Apollo Crews in the foot, although he kind of did that to himself. Ayo. Because Apollo and Mojo definitely are going to be two of the future stars of WWE. But not like this. Apollo Crews can't become your next Intercontinental Champion, next United States Champion, when he's losing in minute-and-a-half matches and hasn't really done all that much since coming to the main roster. I mean, we'll just have to see what goes on in the next couple weeks. We'll keep an eye on Mojo and Apollo. Moving on, we see a great Fatal 4-Way match between the three Raw Money in the Bank contestants and Nikki Cross, the returning Nikki Cross, which I could not have been more happy to see. Just that backstage segment with Alexa on the phone talking about losing her luggage, and then they kind of pan the camera around, and then, oh my gosh, it's Nikki Cross, yay! We thought she was gone. We thought she, we thought she was forgotten about. And it was really nice, but also really odd to see the normal Nikki Cross, because we're used to that insane, almost Tasmanian devil, just kind of not all there. She's just kind of just being crazy, and just seeing her normal, just, yeah, I've been here, and I thought everyone kind of forgot about me. Just kind of seeing her, that innocent girl. Oh, it just warmed my heart to see her come back and make an appearance on TV again. And not only that, but she ended up fighting in the match and winning. Woo! Oh my gosh, Nikki Cross, she was one of my favorites from NXT. So happy for her to get that win. So nice to see that they remembered Nikki Cross, and I hope it just wasn't because they were in England. Oh hey, Nikki's not British. I mean, she's Scottish, but that's close. I really hope it wasn't for that. Honestly, I was yelling at the TV. I was, Nikki, tip that ladder over! Throw Alexa off the ladder like we saw Ricochet do to Baron Corbin. Come on, you can do it! Show us that Nikki Cross we all love. In my heart of hearts, in my wildest dreams, I would have hoped that they would have been like, you know what, Nikki? You won the match. You're gonna take Alexa Bliss's spot at Money in the Bank. And that would have just made my day. Sadly, Nikki didn't tip the ladder over last night. Maybe on Sunday, we'll have a little surprise in store. And honestly, that would be a great feud to have. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Penultimately, we kind of got somewhat of a payoff on the Firefly Funhouse. I know I haven't discussed it much before, but there's been good reason for that. But last night, we got to see perhaps the new incarnation of Bray Wyatt, and I'm a big fan of that Bray Wyatt, just with the mask and everything, just all the distorted voices, all the visuals, just seeing him be that evolved Bray Wyatt, I guess you could say. It's something brand new, and honestly, that kind of creeped me out. I mean, not as much as the doll does, but yeah, just looking at that mask, you're like, ugh, I don't like this. But still, sorry, Bray Wyatt, you're not as scary as Abby the Witch. That doll is nightmare. I'll be walking around in my house in the dark, and then I'll just kind of think about it, and then I'll just see the glowing purple eyes. I'm like, ah! I have to turn on all the lights in my house and make sure no one's inside. Oh, jeez. But it makes me wonder, is this the real Bray Wyatt, the Bray Wyatt that we're going to see in the ring from now on? Or is this just a total swerve just to get us talking about it? Oh my gosh, Bray Wyatt's back, Bray Wyatt's back. Oh, just kidding, that was just my secret. That's what I have in my head. Don't worry, that's not going to come out again. What? No, Bray Wyatt, you can't quit dicking around. Either get in the ring as that Bray Wyatt or not. Dump all this thing, or I'm going to burn the Firefly Funhouse to the ground myself. But it's very good to see Bray Wyatt, quote-unquote, snap finally. Last but not least, the main event, Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. The winner gets to go into the Money in the Bank ladder match and Falls Count Anywhere. This match was good for two reasons, because while I would have thought that they wrote themselves into a corner having Braun throw Sami into a dumpster and get thrown into the trash truck, it didn't, surprisingly. Because here we are now, oh, Sami Zayn comes to Shane, I want to fight Braun Strowman. And you look at Sami, you look at Braun, wait, Sami, you sure you want to do that, bud? Are you sure you want to do that? I mean, the guy's 3 times your size. He could probably eat your weight. Just give Braun Strowman a steak the size of Sami Zayn, and he'd eat it and be like, yeah, give me another one. Whoa. Okay. Don't take Braun to all you can eat, alright? Here we are in the match, and they made great use of the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation. They took him all over the arena, up the stairs, into the concourse, busted up a merch table, and obviously Sami Zayn had help. Help that would later betray him, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre beating the holy hell out of Braun, throwing him through the ladder, or suplexing him through the ladder. And it did something that I would not have seen from last week. Looking back from last week to this week, I would have seen, yeah, you totally killed off Sami Zayn. I mean, he's going to fight Braun Strowman. Of course, Braun Strowman's going to kick his ass. He's going to probably throw him into a trash truck again. It was a very good job being able to get that sympathy for Braun Strowman, because Braun's like 370 pounds, 7 foot tall monster. How are you going to get sympathy from little old 220 pounds, 6 foot 2 Sami Zayn? What can Sami Zayn do to Braun Strowman that you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Braun can take it, you know? Having Drew and Baron Corbin beat the hell out of Strowman. That Claymore kick. One of my new favorite finishing moves. They threw the kitchen sink at Braun. And they dragged Sami Zayn into the cover, and Sami Zayn won the match. He went over in the match, but you also have the sympathy for Braun that, oh man, you know, just like with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is such a big guy, it's hard to believe that, you know, anyone could really, really beat up on Roman Reigns. But using the numbers game, you start to have that sympathy for him. And it's very good. It's a very good job this week by WWE. Sadly, the last thing that we saw was also one of the worst things that we saw. Just like with Roman and The Miz. Braun should have been left laying. But, you know, of course, Braun has to be Braun. And he puts Sami Zayn through a table. It kind of undermines Sami Zayn's momentum that he beat Braun Strowman in a Falls Count Anywhere match to advance to the Money in the Bank, to take Braun's spot inside Money in the Bank. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it really does change the complexion of the match from what it was a week ago. But at the same time, not really, because probably Sami Zayn's going to be climbing up the ladder, and then Braun is going to come run down to the ring and break the ladder in half with Sami Zayn still on it, and then just throw Sami Zayn into the third row or something. Use it like a slingshot and just boom! And Sami Zayn's gonna go flying onto the floor somewhere. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ciao.